The following program is being brought to you on the Seventh Wave Network. For more information about our network and to check our additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit seventhwavenetwork.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to School of Miracles Radio with your host, Heather Scavetta. Have you ever wanted to communicate with a loved one in spirit? Here, you will learn how to see, hear, and feel as mediums and psychics do. Everyone can learn how to communicate with their spirit team of guides and loved ones. No previous experience is necessary. Come with us as we enter a beautiful world that you never knew you were a part of. Now, here is Heather Scavetta.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I just want to say thank you to the many, many listeners out there, and thank you to those who have shared the program with their friends and passed on this link to others, because over the weeks it really has grown, and it's always my intent to get this information out to as many people as possible. So for those of you who have shared the radio show, thank you so much. And for those of you who haven't shared yet, I would love for you to pass on my show to anyone who is interested in this topic, but also anyone who is grieving, anyone who is missing their loved one. Today, we're going to focus on connecting to your loved one. Now, in previous shows, I've talked about meditation being the foundation and how it's so necessary that we develop that practice where we let go of everything and sit and be still. This weekend, I ran a workshop connecting to loved ones, and I had a lovely group with me. And one of the ladies was talking about how she really didn't have a meditation practice, yet she would go walking in the woods and connect that way. You know, there are so many ways of connecting to being quiet, but I really would like to say how important it is to take that time where you're actually sitting and doing nothing. So there's no walking, there's no drinking, there's none of that, because it will take you to a deeper level. You'll be able not to focus on the physical reality. And this goes to even if you're writing, because you're still focusing on your hand, you're still focusing on the words that you're writing, the steps that you're taking if you're walking. So yes, there is a place for that kind of meditation, that kind of contemplation, but you still need to set aside time where you're not doing any of those things. Because when you let go from anything physical, that invisible world starts to come forward, starts to come alive, because you've shifted your perspective from it. So if you haven't already, go and listen to the earlier episodes where I talk about meditation. And truly, all you're really doing is relaxing and letting go and allowing spirit to work with you. Now, what I'd like to do a little bit differently than I have in the previous weeks is, this is the first time I'm going to be offering a guided meditation live. So after the break, we're going to come back for a longer period, and we're going to just sit, relax, and let go. And I'm giving you the heads up so you can find a spot where you're comfortable. Definitely, if you are driving or doing something else, this may not be the time to practice with the meditation. you are welcome to listen to what I say and to take bits and pieces of it and use it in your own practice. But at any rate, we're going to come back after the break, which is coming up in a few minutes. We've got some more time still. And I'm going to guide you through a meditation where you can connect to your loved one on the other side. So almost all of us have someone on the other side, even if it's a grandparent or a friend. Of course, I have a little special area in my heart for all those bereaved moms out there, because it really is such a difficult journey. Because even when you set the intent that you want to sit with your loved one, the emotions arise. And it comes back to us that we are doing this because they have transitioned, that they are no longer in their physical body. And that takes usually many, many, many years to get to the point where perhaps it is not affecting you as strongly as it did. And I'm a big supporter of learning how to reconnect with them and to figure out how it is that they're working with us so that we can continue the relationship. Never stop talking to them. They hear everything that you say. And my practice with Elizabeth, my daughter, she was in a car accident, had a severe head injury, and passed. Now, this is coming up for 12 years now, but I was connecting with her the very first year because I set aside that time to sit and be with her in the quiet so that she could teach me, and definitely she has taught me. So part of the practice is providing that opportunity for them. And this is so important because if we just go about our everyday life and we're working at this, we're working at that, and we're busy with our own thoughts, where do they have room to come in? And with a strong meditation practice, you will find that your thoughts will start to quiet, and you'll have more periods where you're not thinking anymore because you no longer dwell in the past, you no longer dwell in the future. And so what is there? There's just this present moment. And in that moment is where the connection is with your child, with your loved one, with your husband, all those special people. And even if you haven't lost somebody, this is the opportunity for you to get to know other members of your team. Perhaps you'd like a special angel to come forward that you've heard about, etc. And definitely they're there, they hear you, they will come. So I've talked before that thoughts are something that everybody can use and understand with their loved ones. If you could listen to the previous show where I talk about ego and the thoughts, I go deeper into this. But you never stop learning. And this week, I noticed something very strong. And, they always go to a deeper level. They always help you to grow and to stretch. And I was noticing even more about my thoughts. That sometimes when we have a thought about something, maybe we'd like to go to coffee and we're thinking about going for coffee. It's such an ordinary thought to us that we don't place too much importance on it. But sometimes when we have the same thought, like, I'm going to go for coffee, perhaps there's a new thought that creeps in that perhaps we'll try a new cafe to go to. Or perhaps a thought comes in to call a friend to join you, or whatever it is. So sometimes we get it mixed up because the thoughts will seem ordinary, yet there's a new twist to it. And this happened to me this week where, I was at my makeup table and I'm thinking about makeup and buying makeup and things like that. And of course, at my makeup table, those types of thoughts do come in. But then I started thinking about buying makeup for my other daughter who is here, and that's not something I usually think about. And I mentioned this Actually, no, I didn't mention it to her. She mentioned to me that she had recently bought some makeup, and it was exactly what I was thinking about. And I don't need to go into the details, but it was very specific. And I had that thought. And I thought, even though I understand this process and I've got to know my daughter really well, I sometimes don't recognize those thoughts. And I really believe that she was with her sister during that time and with me at the same time, and that she was joining in the conversation. And this is how she joins in, adding her own little thoughts to it and helping us make that connection with one another. So I challenge you this week to notice ordinary thoughts that you have about things like that. And recognize if there's a new thought that comes along with it. Maybe something that you don't usually think about when you think about that. You know, like things about going to the grocery store, and perhaps there's an additional thought there that you need to look at this or buy that or whatever, and usually don't have that thought. Because this is another subtle way that our loved ones can work with us. And definitely in guided meditation, they work with our thoughts a lot. And your job is to remain neutral, to allow the thoughts to come in without you trying to control anything, and allow the thoughts to start to tell a story to you. Because we want things instantaneously, you know, like we're watching TV, we see something, we get it. We want it that way in meditation too. And yes, it can come in that way, but more often it's a journey. And our mind starts flowing in a certain direction, and we start thinking of things. This is Spirit working with us. So can you have patience and allow the story to unfold in your thoughts? So it's not about resisting thoughts. It's not about getting rid of them. That's a different type of meditation. We're welcoming the thoughts from Spirit to come in, and we're just noticing them, and we're allowing them to grow, and perhaps it's leading us in a certain direction. So when we come back from break in a couple of minutes, I'm going to move into a guided meditation, and you'll get a sense of how I lead meditations. And if you haven't done so already, my guided meditation, The Swing, which is available for download, you'll see it in the bottom right-hand corner of your radio page. And you'll be able to listen to me over and over and help guide you in this process. The guided meditation itself will be different than the one on the swing, because today, like I do in my classes each week, I allow Spirit to guide the meditation. So they're going to give me ideas and the words to speak for this meditation. And I'm excited because I never know where they're going to take it. So if you could find a comfortable chair, maybe a comfortable place to lay down while you're still listening to the radio show, and we're going to take a journey together. So won't you stay with me for that experience? And we're coming back with that just after the break.
The Voice America 7th Wave Channel.
Visit schoolofmiracles.ca to find out about Heather Scavetta and her channeled life readings and School of Miracles. Heather blends her energy with the council to bring forth their words of guidance and encouragement that can help you take that next step forward on your spiritual path. You may also attend classes and workshops at School of Miracles in the Toronto, Ontario, Canada area. Learn to communicate with your loved ones, spirit guides, animals, and others in your spirit team. For more information, please visit schoolofmiracles.ca. Tony Scavetta has been giving mediumship readings since 2004. His exceptional gift of clairvoyance will provide validation that your loved ones did not die and are here with you today. Experience healing through knowing your loved one is still with you and receive personal messages from them. Private and group sessions are available. Visit schoolofmiracles.ca and book through the calendar for Tony's availability. That's schoolofmiracles.ca.
Be visionary. Be extraordinary. Be the change. This is the Seventh Wave Channel on the Voice America Network.
You are listening to School of Miracles Radio. If you have a question or comment about the program, please send Heather an email to info@schoolofmiracles.ca. That's info@schoolofmiracles.ca. Now, back to this week's show.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for staying with me. Now, earlier in the show, I promised that I would offer you a guided meditation to help you connect to your loved ones in spirit. If you don't have a special someone in spirit, you can also put the intent out there that you would like to connect to a spirit guide or an angel. So don't worry that you're being excluded in any way. Anything is possible. So whatever your intent is, that's perfectly fine. So the way that I like to start a guided meditation is through prayer. And this helps set the intention of why we are doing this and who we are talking to. Because there are many beings in spirit, and we want to direct our attention to our loved ones and our helpers. So not completely understanding the process, we don't want to exclude people, and that's why I also invite our spirit helpers to join us in this process. And so if you just want to close your eyes, if it's safe to do so, and what's great about this format is you can come back at a later time and listen to this guided meditation over and over and over again. So don't be concerned if you're not taking full advantage of it right now. You can always come back and listen to it again. And every meditation experience is different, and you never know what's going to happen. And so let's just say a prayer, and if anything in the prayer doesn't resonate with you, just set it aside. Almighty God, in whom we lay our trust, fill us with your light, surround us with your love. We ask that you send your angels of protection to watch over us and to protect this process. And we invite our loved ones, our spirit helpers and guides, ascended masters, and those beings of the highest light and love to be with us now, to help us with our healing, understanding, and growth. And we pray that the highest and best be served for all involved. And so just take a deep breath and just start the body to relax. And then just allow your breath to flow easily in and out. You don't need to force the breath or pay extra attention to it. Just allow it to flow naturally in and out. And so can you move to the top of your head now? And start to move down the body, relaxing your forehead, softening your eyes, and softening your face. Just loosen your jaw and let it hang. Relax your shoulders and your arms. Just allow your stomach to go. Relax your thighs, your knees, your calves, and your feet. Now imagine that you're sitting under a spotlight of golden white light. This light comes down from above and spills onto the top of your head, onto your shoulders, and gathers at your feet. And each time you breathe in, more light comes down and swirls around you. This sparkling golden white light is creating a cocoon of energy around you, of light around you, of protection, of security. And the more you breathe in and out, the more this light grows around you. And as you look forward, you will see a white mist in front of you. You need not open your eyes to do this. This is just allowing your thoughts to flow. Allow your imagination to work. As you imagine energy, so it is. And so during the breath, moving in and out, this light around you grows. And so now you are surrounded by light, in a cocoon of light. And so now we're going to move our attention back to the top of our head. And we're going to allow our crown chakra to open further. All you need to do is just lightly focus on this area, and you will feel it start to open wider. The light from above starts to come down and move through the crown. The light comes in and moves into each cell, into the bloodstream, bringing with it relaxation. And slowly, the inside of your head starts to fill with the same warm light. Now move your attention to your forehead and relax, and allow the light to come into your third eye, to your spiritual sight. Allow this visual field to expand all the way to the left and all the way to the right. And allow the breath to come in and feel the light move into every part of your head. Any darkness is now filled with the light. Slowly the light comes down and moves into your throat area. Just relax and allow the light to expand there. You may start to see a beautiful blue color, for this is the throat chakra. Relax a little bit deeper and allow the light to move down into your heart area. Allow the heart to expand with this light. And soon the light is being filled all the way from the top of your head down into your heart. Now notice any areas in the body that you're holding tension to, and just allow the light to go there to relax you. And now the light moves down your arms and into both hands. Now move your attention to your stomach area. This is your solar plexus. Allow it to be filled with the light also. You may start to see a swirling yellow color. And now move down to your pelvic area. Allow the light in there too. See it expand and clear out any darkness. You may start to see a beautiful orange color swirling. And then slowly move down to your root chakra at the base of your spine between your legs. You may start to see a beautiful red color swirling with the light. And so now when you breathe in, the light is coming down all the way down your spine and back out into the earth. So now you have a cocoon of light around you and a cocoon of light inside you. And now there is no barrier to this light, for it is inside and outside. Each time you breathe in, this light expands. And each time you breathe out, it expands even more. Allow it to expand way beyond the body. Allow it to expand out into the room. As you relax, you allow this energy field to be filled with light and to allow it to be a vehicle for your loved one to enter. Now relax, and with your eyes still closed, look forward and imagine the mist around you. And as you look forward, you ask your loved one to step forward also. And as they do, they come closer into your energy field. Can you start to feel a shift? Can you start to feel a difference in yourself? For their energy is coming very close to you now. Look into the mist and start to see their hand coming through. At first you may see their fingertips and then more of their hand. Just look into the mist and allow it to happen. Slowly, gently. Trust that what you're seeing is real, for indeed they are right there with you now. Now look down at their hand. Can you start to see the many facets of their skin, of their nails, of their color? And as you spend more time with them, you relax and you allow their energy to blend even more with yours. Looking at the back of your eyelids, you may start to see colors swirl and merge together. Know that this is their aura. This is their energy. And now you may start to see more of their arm as they reach through the veil. Look down and see them holding your hand. You may start to see and feel a difference. Perhaps their energy is very strong now. And now imagine that you are looking down and looking into your hand. Can you see their hand there also? And now look at your right hand. Allow them to reach forward and also touch your right hand. And so now they are holding both your hands. And now imagine yourself standing. And now you are both standing together, hand and hand. Now you are going to walk forward through the mist, and you are going to go with them. Walk forward now, knowing that you are secure and they are with you. And as you move through the mist, the light becomes so bright, a bright white light, and all around you is brightness. You look over and you see your loved one standing there. Start looking at their hand and slowly start moving up the body. So perhaps you'll start to see more of their arm, and you're moving up to their shoulder. Can you start to see what they're wearing? You may start to see the color of it, the texture of it, and slowly gaze all over them. So maybe see more of what they're wearing. Maybe start to see their other arm more. Start to look down, look way down, and see, are they wearing something on their feet? It will come, the thoughts will come. And then slowly raise your gaze again and start to move towards their face. Can you start with their hair? Are they wearing anything on their head? Just follow your gaze around them. And slowly, when you feel comfortable, start to move towards their face and start to see little bits of them, perhaps an eyebrow, an eye, their nose, moving down to their mouth, so that now you can start to see more of them as they step so very close to you when you are doing this. And we ask them to show themselves to us now. And as they are so very close to us, we ask them to reach towards us and touch us in a specific place. So just be aware that they are moving close and touching you somewhere. Ask them to touch you now. You may start to feel a pressure somewhere, or your thoughts go somewhere, or perhaps your hair moves, or you feel a brush on the face. These are all ways that your loved one can touch you. Over time, you will start to learn the pattern of them, how they work with you. And so now that they are so very close to you now, can you look down into your palm, into your left hand? Just imagine your hand in front of you. And I want you to recognize that your loved one has left something there for you. You may start to feel the weight of it. Perhaps you're getting the sense of what color it is. Just keep looking into your hand and allow the story to unfold. Soon you will start to get a sense that there is something there in your hand. Perhaps there is a shape starting to form. And if something starts coming to you now, just notice any thought you have about what is in your hand. And we ask them to tell you more about this. Tell us more about what they left for you. All the while allowing your breath to effortlessly move in and out. Perhaps this is a special memory you share, or perhaps this is something that they left behind, or maybe it's something that is in your life right now, something around you. And so often our left hand is used to receive, and our right hand is used to give. Can you allow your right hand to move towards your loved one and to give them something from your heart? What is it that you would like to give your loved one? Just allow the thought to come to you. And just see yourself offering this gift to your loved one. And so now you start to move forward hand in hand, still with your gift and them with yours. And as you both look forward, you look into the bright white light and you start to see it open up. Perhaps it is like a window opening, and you look through. This is something that your loved one wishes to show you. Perhaps it is a memory that you both share. Just allow yourself to keep looking through the opening and allow your thoughts to flow. Trust in the thoughts that come to you. Trust that there is a purpose. And you may spend more time here, allowing the memory to come. Now, perhaps there is a reason why your loved one is showing you this memory. You can ask them to tell you more about this memory. Why is it that they are showing you this memory now? And so they are still so very close in your energy. And as you look into the light, you start to see that opening close. And your loved one is still so very strong beside you. And so because your loved one has come to not only share this time with you, but also to teach you, we are going to ask them to slowly step back and move out of our energy field. This helps us compare when they are close and when they are far away, for you will start to see perhaps the colors change. Perhaps the energy and the feelings aren't as strong. And so we ask them to slowly step back, to step way back, all the while you remain relaxed. And we ask them to completely step back now. And so even though they are always connected to you, their energy field is beyond your sensitive range right now. And so can you notice the difference? Still looking ahead, you are looking into your cocoon of light, the mist around you, and knowing that at any time you can come back to this cocoon and ask them to come. Ask them to spend time with you. Ask them to teach you. And so slowly you start to notice that the mist and light around you start to become fainter and slowly start to disappear. At that time, you can start to open your eyes, move your hands, and come back to the room. During this time, you may wish to make some notes and remember some of the special messages and the things that you saw while they were here. And so now I ask you to come all the way back and to listen to my voice. And this is the end of the meditation. So I hoped you enjoyed that time that we spent together, providing an opportunity for your loved one to work with you. Do you see that this holds a special quality? And every time I do this with Elizabeth, she shows me something different. She shows me something that I never would expect. And so when you're working at receiving information, I find that when you provide something like looking into your hand, that brings a focus instead of just like wide open, what's the message? Sometimes that can be too difficult. And so when I asked Elizabeth to give me something in my hand, sometimes because we want it our way, we'll put something in our hand because we are impatient and we don't want to wait for them to do it. So if you feel that you put the object there yourself, that it was too logical, this is natural for us to do that. Can you just set it aside in your mind and stare at an empty hand again and allow them to work with you and to give you something different? This works all the time because a thought will always come to you. And if you work imagining things more often in guided meditations, you'll be able to imagine an object there. You see, where do thoughts come from? We keep thinking that all the thoughts are ours, but when you're in meditation and you're in that energy, I will tell you, almost always, it's Spirit giving you the thought. So don't discount what you got during the meditation. Sometimes it's something to make us laugh. Sometimes it's invoking a special message that they want to get through. Other times it's something that we shared together or something that they want to be involved with now. So, for instance, when I did this just the other week, I received a tiny little pumpkin. And at this time of the broadcast, it is coming up for Halloween and Canadian Thanksgiving. And I have little pumpkins all over the house. Well, she gave me one of those little pumpkins in my hand, knowing that she would enjoy them, being cute, being part of the season. And she's telling me that she's in the house. She sees what's in the house, and she's part of her Thanksgiving celebration and part of Halloween coming up. So you can see that they can use very timely things with us also. And the pumpkin to me also has a deeper meaning, something that's more personal between Elizabeth and I, because Spirit will always give you messages that are so layered. So sometimes we see the surface message, and then there's a deeper message, and another one under that, because Spirit in its infinite wisdom is always trying to teach us to grow, to understand the language of Spirit. And so I really encourage you that every time you sit in this way, to keep a journal of what colors did you see when your loved one came? And if you're not seeing color yet, it may come in the future. Did you feel an emotional response when it started to happen? Very often it would make me come overwhelmed with emotion when Elizabeth came. Sometimes they make us feel sad. Sometimes they make us feel happy. And we have to allow those emotions to surface within us. For there is another reason for that also. So keep a journal, because even if you don't understand everything that happened, or maybe you don't understand the message, you'll be able to look back at your interactions with Spirit and learn in the future. I still learn. I'm still learning. It never gets old, but it will get to a point where you're more and more comfortable. You trust more often, and you just know that the way that it is the way that it should be for you. And what a wonderful opportunity you're giving your loved one to spend quality time just with the two of you. There is so much to gain in this, so much healing that happens, and also the confirmation that your journey is still going forward together, that even though their physical body died, they're still with you, they still know what's going on, and they still are participating in your life. So stay with me. We're going to take a short break now, and we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about connecting to loved ones. Stay with me.
This is the Voice America 7th Wave Channel.
Tony Scavetta has been giving mediumship readings since 2004. His exceptional gift of clairvoyance will provide validation that your loved ones did not die and are here with you today. Experience healing through knowing your loved one is still with you and receive personal messages from them. Private and group sessions are available. Visit schoolofmiracles.ca and book through the calendar for Tony's availability. That's schoolofmiracles.ca. Visit schoolofmiracles.ca to find out about Heather Scavetta and her channeled life readings and School of Miracles. Heather blends her energy with the council to bring forth their words of guidance and encouragement that can help you take that next step forward on your spiritual path. You may also attend classes and workshops at School of Miracles in the Toronto, Ontario, Canada area. Learn to communicate with your loved ones, spirit guides, animals, and others in your spirit team. For more information, please visit schoolofmiracles.ca.
The Voice America 7th Wave Channel. Be extraordinary. Be the change.
You are listening to School of Miracles Radio. If you have a question or comment about the program, please send Heather an email to info@schoolofmiracles.ca. That's info@schoolofmiracles.ca. Now, back to this week's show.
Hi, everyone, and thanks for staying with me. So before break, we went on a guided meditation journey with our loved one. And I just want to talk a little bit about, when our loved one was with us in the physical, we would do anything for them, give our time, and whatever they needed, we would do for them. Nothing's changed just because they have transitioned to spirit. We can still give our time. We can still do whatever it takes to keep that connection strong, to keep it growing and expanding. It is natural that we resist this. It already hurts that our loved one has transitioned, and to set aside time to be with them again, we can go through that period where it hurts, where emotions come back, and our natural inclination is to close our heart up to that and say, no, I don't want to feel that deeply. I don't want to go there. But to feel their energy is to heal, because they are so full of love for you that love energy is what heals. And so you see how there's so many benefits to spending time with our loved one. And maybe it's not the right time for you. That's okay. They can wait. They can be patient. But hopefully, at some point, you will set aside some time to spend with them. And I am an advocate of spending half an hour with them every day. But if this doesn't, correlate with your schedule right now, you can also spend some time with them first thing in the morning before you get out of bed. Talk to them. Listen. See what it is that they want to tell you. Because they come to you during that time too. They come to you all the time. And that's why I'm noticing more and more the subtle thoughts that I get during the day. If you ignore the connection that you have with your loved ones, of course they're still there, but you may not improve upon it. It may always stay the way that it is. Your intent of wanting to learn and grow and practice and learn every time they come to you how it is, what colors are they, how does it feel, what kind of thoughts do they have for you, and to kind of relearn who they are again, in essence, then it just keeps getting better and better. And before you know it, you just have this super strong connection of doing things with them that you never thought was possible. And that is true for me. And remember, I never had any of this ability before I lost Elizabeth. And so everybody can do this. There is no special people Mediums are not special people. They are just people who learned the skill of communicating. And if you're communicating with your loved one, you are a medium. You do have that skill, and you can expand on that. Now, oftentimes when we start to open that door for our loved one, we may see other loved ones too. And at the beginning, I saw other people's children, other people's loved ones too, because that door is open now. So you're going to see other people. It is your choice whether you wish to relay messages to their loved ones here. It takes courage to step out and say, this is what I do, that I talk to my loved ones in spirit. But more and more people are understanding the healing benefits of this, and that the spirit world is real and alive and around them. So I talked a little bit about resistance to doing this. I don't know what it is about us that we resist these kinds of things. Yes, it could be that we don't want to feel things. We don't want to feel that love again because, yes, it is overwhelming. But when we resist what is, which is your loved ones are alive and around you, you really cause yourself suffering because you're resisting it. You're resisting that connection. You want to believe that they aren't here anymore because in your ego mind, you think it's easier that way. But I will tell you, it causes way more suffering because now you have to walk around thinking they're not with you, thinking that there wasn't a good reason why they passed, all these other things. And it causes such great suffering for people. And that's why I'm an advocate of learning to reconnect with your loved ones again. Because when you do this yourself, there will be no doubt in your mind. And eventually, you may have the courage to share this with other people and help them along their journey of healing, knowing that it helped you. And so, of course, this is what I'm doing today. I'm helping you by sharing with you my journey. There have been more people that have been supportive of this new spiritual journey with me than people who haven't, because there is a longing. There is a longing for us to know that love doesn't die, that our loved ones are still here, that indeed we never lose these treasures, that treasures live forever. And it goes beyond people who say, well, my loved one lives on in my heart. My loved one lives on in my memories. Yes, that's true, but they live on, period. They are a person just like you are. They just don't have their physical body. So when people say, well, yes, my loved one lives on in my heart, can I say that they live on, period? They live on. They are a separate person like you are. Yeah, they're in that field of unity. They're in that field of love. Of course they are. But you know what? We are too. We just think there's a separation. When you go into meditation or just shift into your thoughts where you're spending time with them, where you're talking with them, you and them are in one place, one reality, the true reality. So I urge you to continue your journey with your loved one because there is so much richness there. And I also encourage you to share this journey with others when you are ready, because in the sharing, you will not only be able to talk about your loved one, which is always a joy, but you'll be able to share your healing experiences with those that may want to hear this, that may need to hear this on some level. And if you don't feel comfortable sharing right now, perhaps you can look into the future and know that maybe one day you might be ready. Or just start to become happier yourself. We don't honor anybody passing by grieving too long for them. They come through wanting us to be happy, to live our life to the fullest. And knowing that they are still with us doing that, we don't need to feel guilty about it. We can get rid of all those feelings of guilt that we're supposed to be suffering because someplace in our mind we think they are suffering too. Trust me, they aren't suffering anymore. Out of the thousands of mediumship readings that I have done and witnessed, never once have I heard somebody in spirit want to come back. Yes, In the future, they may choose another incarnation, another life expression, but they know that their journey was completed perfectly and that it was their time to go, and that their soul agreed to that. We all agree to that time, to how we pass eventually. And so we can let go and trust in the future. Trust that our loved ones are still with us, that we can expand the way that we work with them. Start to notice this week more and more the types of thoughts that you are having. And when you start to act on those positive thoughts, to those hunches that you have, to those promptings to maybe connect with somebody or reach out to them or be more loving or more forgiving, more compassionate, whatever it is, this is spirit. This is our loved ones prompting us, because this is the true treasure, our connection to one another. Now, along the way, you may have to let some people go who don't understand your journey, who don't understand where you are, because they aren't there yet. And so it's okay to let some people go, because new ones will come forward. Just perhaps you're at a different stage in your life. So it's okay that people come and go. Yes, at the grand scheme of things, we're all together, we're all connected. But it's up to you to take control of your life and to be discerning of the energies that you let in. And sometimes relationships are for a short time. And sometimes you need to let them go. And this is true for people in spirit. Sometimes that relationship has run its course. So don't feel that you have to. But for me, in my daughter especially, I will always be with her. I will always be connected to her. I will always acknowledge that she's here. And I always will try to provide those times, those special times where it's just her and I, and we can hang out together and be together like that once again. So I wish lots of love and happiness for everybody who's listening, and know that this connection with your loved ones is still there, still very much alive. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you for tuning in to School of Miracles Radio. Please join your host, Heather Scavetta, again next Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America's 7th Wave channel. We hope to have you join us again next week. And remember, you are never alone. Your loved ones and spirit guides are always around you.